Yay Networks.
Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sybil Amuti, and I can't wait for you to hear all of the great girlfriend magic on today's show. So without further ado, grab something great to drink, grab your pen and your paper, and get ready for this week's episode. Enjoy! Happy Wednesday, great girlfriends. Today we are talking about, let me see if I can sing this. Money, 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 money. Hey, money. Bear with me because my voice has been extremely hoarse. I'm getting it back. I hope you can appreciate this raspy, sultry sound that I'm bringing today. And I hope you can also appreciate the guest that I'm bringing on today, Cassandra Cummings, who is a powerhouse in the personal finance space and is dedicated to financial and investment literacy. Cassandra has helped more than 100,000 Black women invest over $25 million in the stock market through her guidance and education as the founder of the Stocks Stilettos Society. She's an investment and wealth strategist who has created the Stock Success Circle to help women with the fundamentals of investing and taking their investing game to the next level. Recently, she founded the Queens of Capital, where she helps women shift their money mindset and increase their overall net worth with investment opportunities by investing in themselves. Cassandra has been featured in Essence, The Wall Street Journal, Black Enterprise, Business Insider, BuzzFeed, and U.S. News and World Report, and has been on The Breakfast Club and Houston's NBC affiliate KPRC. Cassandra earned her degree in accounting from the University of Southern California and her certificate in women's entrepreneurship from Cornell University. She currently lives in Northern California. I am so excited about this conversation, great girlfriends, because there is no better time like the present for us to get our money right. And so today we're going to dive into some of the fears that have kept some of us, maybe not all of us, but some of us from pursuing our true wealth power. And Cassandra is here to teach us some of those things, as well as introduce us to Stocks and Stilettos, as well as inviting us to read her new book, Fearless Finance. Hi, Cassandra. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Sybil.
Did you like
Thanks for having me. Yes, I did.
I tried to
love
make
it
really good for you because I
know you can sing. You can sing. You can blow.
I mean, this little thing I got going with my voice is like, my mom's like, it's like gravel in your throat. I'm like, it is what it is until the gravel goes away. But listen, you're gonna get these songs in the meantime. So how's everything going for you, Cassandra? You got a lot going on.
I got a lot going on. It's going really well. I'm doing just great, just getting the word out about women and finances. So I'm in a really good spot right now.
Okay. I thought it would be cool if we played a little game of favorites just to get to know you more. 5 quick questions that will help our listeners understand a little bit more about you personally and professionally. You ready?
Okay. I'm
Sunrise
ready.
or sunset?
Sunset.
Sunset. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you prefer a boat party or a night curled up with a book?
A night curled up with a book.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little introverted there.
Really? Okay.
I know people don't think so, but yes.
I can relate to that. Who's your favorite music artist of all time?
Oh, of all time? Gosh, I would have to say Whitney Houston. Yeah, I'm a big Whitney Houston fan.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who isn't just Whitney's the
right.
best.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of Whitney. Okay. You have $5 in your pocket. What are you purchasing?
I'm not buying anything. $5. Probably not buying anything.
Not even stock?
No, I'm gonna hold on to my money.
Okay.
$5. Yeah, maybe a pack of gum. I don't know. Yeah.
You buy a phone call to call somebody who's got the money.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Rain, hail, sleet, or snow. Sun up, sun down. Who are you calling? Who is your greatest girlfriend?
My greatest girlfriend is my girlfriend, Janaea. I've known her. She's been my girlfriend since 7th grade. So that's my BFF. Yeah, that's my BFF.
I love that. Hey,
Yeah,
Janaea.
I know. We call her Jay. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
So, Cassandra, this is a big task that you've taken on, women in finance. Essential. You are considered an essential worker in my book because what you're doing is
Oh,
helping to, yeah, because you're changing legacies and influencing the legacies, and you're also shaping generations with the work that you do. So it is no light work that you're doing. And
mm,
when you think about the word money, there's so many emotions attached to it. There's so many feelings that we carry. We've inherited these beliefs and then these stories, some empowering, some disempowering. And then we talk about wealth, it's almost like it either makes people dance or they go hide because it's like it's
mhm.
just too much.
It's
So
overwhelming.
yeah, and so you've learned how to make this simple and sweet for women, how to make it palatable and achievable. And I want to first get to what you define as wealth and the definition of wealth for you. How do you define wealth personally?
Personally, how I define wealth is a way in which you can live the life you desire, but not only that, that you're able to also pass down wealth to generations coming up behind you. So, wealth isn't just something that we are leaving behind, but we want to also enjoy what we have accumulated, enjoy the fruits of our labor while we're here, and then at least be fortunate enough to leave some behind so that the others don't have to start from scratch as well.
Absolutely. So there is
Hmm.
like longevity and quality of life. It's living it out and then leaving some for others to live on or just to start on.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because many of us have had to start with absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And that makes it very difficult and it makes it hard to, to compete with other races and things of that nature when we're
Mhm.
just always constantly starting from zero.
Right. So tell me about your start. Did you walk into wealth or did you develop this from scratch?
Honey, please. Absolutely not. You know, I had very humble beginnings. My mom was on social services when I was younger. I was a teen. She was a teen mom. She had me when she was 16, and my mom had not graduated from high school. So we had very, very humble beginnings coming up. And so it took a long time to really figure out how money works, how to navigate, the terrain of just finances, because the lessons that I picked up from my mom, I had to pretty much unlearn and learn new things about money. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, definitely did not walk into wealth, did not have a silver spoon in my mouth. But the people that I came in contact with, the opportunities that were presented to me, I took full advantage of those. And I think that that was definitely a catalyst to getting me where I am today.
Mhm. So there's so many women that are listening that did not have a silver spoon and they understand and relate to that. What was a defining moment for you where you said this will not be the end of my story?
The defining moment is when I actually got accepted to college, like, university was definitely the defining moment. I proved to myself that I could actually get into a top tier university.
Mhm.
And once I got into that university, just being able to find the right people. And actually, on the first day on campus, I connected with a mentor. I was a part of a program called the Protege Plus program, and
Mhm.
they connected me with a finance mentor, and she was a bad Black woman, and her name is Angela Perry. And she
Uh-huh.
had been my mentor, and she still is to this very day. And at the age of 19, it was just amazing to actually have, God send someone like that in my world, into my world.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love
Hmm.
that. So now you've begun to set yourself free, and then you get on this path to set over 100,000 women free
Yeah.
and create choices. Because part of wealth, I think, is having options, right? It's like, right? Who doesn't like to have options? I can go to Neiman
Hmm.
or I can go to Kohl's. I have the option.
Hmm.
I there's no boundary because I've been able to make great choices. And or, I could go to Lambo, I could go to Honda, I can go
Hmm.
to have a local vacation, or I can have a destination vacation. Having options.
Right. Having not only options, but having access to,
Woo!
because you can have all the money, right? I put stories in my book about having money, but it's the access that is also very important. And so I don't want to, take away from that either, because that's
Yeah.
also key. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, great girlfriends, spring is coming, so it's time to spice it up in your kitchen. I have a new favorite, and I hope that you're ready to take on a new favorite in your kitchen too. So, I'm introducing you this week to Green Chef, which is the #1 meal kit for eating well with dinners that work for you, not the dinners that you have to work for. I love Green Chef. Let me tell you why. First of all, it saves me so much time to get the meals prepackaged with a recipe included to break down how to cook these very delicious meals that my kids absolutely love. So I'm winning. I love that they are delicious, easy to follow recipes that support my healthy lifestyle that actually taste good. And when I say taste good, I'm not talking about like, this is kind of good. I'm talking about, okay, this is popping. Like this right here, I want to eat again and again. I also love that they have these 10-minute lunches. So if you're like me and you're working all day and you forget to eat lunch and you look up and it's 1 o'clock and you are so super hungry, you can make a 10-minute lunch that is low prep and nutritious and recipe ready. And so when you're pressed for time, this makes things super simple. And if you're like me and you're between meetings and you kind of want to eat on a Zoom, this is the way to go. So the other thing I love about Green Chef is that it comes prepackaged, absolutely amazing, easy to follow recipes, and you can try out different diets within one menu. They have over 30 recipes every single week. And if you're kind of switching between diets and you want to try like keto one week, vegan the next, or you want to try to do something that's Mediterranean or paleo, you have those options with Green Chef. And that's really good for me because sometimes I'm eating one way and my family is eating another way. Well, with Green Chef, we all get to have the meal that we want when we want it. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to eat. And if you're ready to eat, I'm going to encourage you to head on over to Green Chef. Here's what you want to do. Go to greenchef.com/girlfriends60 and use code girlfriends60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Again, that's greenchef.com/girlfriends60 and use code girlfriends60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. This is the #1 meal kit for eating well, and I'm so happy to share it with you. Enjoy! You set yourself free. Now it's time to set other people free. When did you start, you're in your lane as a wealth strategist, and how did you know that was possible for us, the 100,000?
100,000. So 2015, I left the firm. I used to be a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch, and I ended up leaving the firm just to pursue some other things, hang out my own shingle at that time. I was really new to the online space, and a friend who I had met through the internet said, "Hey, you should start a Facebook group." And I'm like, "What is that?" I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Yeah, just start this group. You can add me as your first friend." And we started working on the content, putting things in the group. And before I knew it, my group went from 50 people to like 3,000 people to 5,000 people. It was just crazy how fast the group grew in less than like 4 or 5 months, right? Mm-hmm. And so I said, wow, this is definitely something that's really needed. And it shifted how things worked for me at the firm versus being on Facebook, because at the firm we would go after and chase down clients, but in the Facebook group, people were like, "Hey, I want to work with you. I want to work with you." It was totally different for me. Mm-hmm.
So this group, Stocks and Stilettos, tell us about the group and what it does and why it is essential for women.
So the group is actually a sisterhood around money. I call it sort of like a financial sorority, if you will. Yeah. Yeah. And so when it come together, we really help one another really get get money. We help people learn money. We help people make money in the stock market and other areas of investing. And so it's really a community that is all about lifting as we climb. So there are many women at various stages of their financial and investment journey that's willing to help other women get to where they desire financially. And so I think that's what makes our community so different and so special.
And you've grown it
Yeah.
now to how many members now?
So we're about to touch 100,000, but we also have our Facebook page that has about 20 something thousand. And then we have our Instagram page, which is closing on 50,000. So our reach overall is about 250,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
you're realizing that, you're lifting as you climb, and that the community building is the key to really ensuring that the knowledge travels faster, right? Because I realize
Mhm.
as a community builder, what I say is only as important as the people it reaches. Like if I'm not reaching the women that I want to impact, and then it impacts and touches their life and they evangelize it, it's not making the difference I wanted to make. And so that community build is such a big piece of really igniting a fire, like really
Mhm.
starting a fire. I love that the fact that these women are communing over like the sorority, the sisterhood of around money, and the sorority for finance. I love the idea that we can be our own leaders here. We can pioneer and trailblaze in this area, and that you
Mhm.
started with why don't you start a Facebook that turned into you have officially started a movement. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
That group has become a movement. Do you think that the pandemic shifted, anything for you in terms of women in finance, their desire to learn more, people wanting to get more into investing? Did you see any growth or change there?
Absolutely. At the top of the pandemic, we grew exponentially.
Okay.
And I think it was in part because of the she session, right? Because a lot more women were actually being impacted by the recession or the downturn at the top of the pandemic. And so women had to figure out how are they going to have income, how are they going to subsidize, maybe they were getting furloughed or things of that nature. And so they needed to figure out how am I going to supplement, if not replace, my entire income. And I think that the pandemic gave women an opportunity to stop and really assess their finances, right?
Yeah.
Because we're always time pressed, we're always being hurried and rushed around just because of our daily life activities. And so the pandemic actually said, hey, let me pump the brakes. Let me really take a really hard look at my finances and see what I can do to come out on the other side of this pandemic in a much better financial position. So, in that regard, the pandemic might have been a blessing in disguise for many Black women. Hmm.
Yeah, like you said, having the time to be able to sit down and look at the numbers and see where things are, and then figure out where you want to be next, like what is next. And I think it's so important that we take a full grasp of who we are
Hmm.
and where we want to be and how we're going to get there. And having that roadmap, I think, like you said, when people had a chance to really sit down and a little bit of quiet, you had a chance to look at your blueprint and your roadmap and go, dog, are they congruent? Like I really got to get gotta get things in
Right, in
order.
alignment,
Yeah,
right? I got to get my finances in alignment. Yeah,
yeah, and
absolutely.
start asking, who are the leaders in this space? Who's already doing this, and where can I learn, how to be groomed for my next level? And I think that is
Hmm.
so important. I'm so glad that you were positioned to be like, "Hey, we're the one-stop shop. Come here and let us teach you what you need to know." So, why write a book? And tell us about it. I love the cover. I love the title, Fearless Finances.
Yeah.
Right, authorship, I know is no small feat, so I know, right? I know. I see it in your eye. That's why I ask you, why did you write your book? And then tell us all about what's on the inside of it.
So I'll back up and tell you the story of how the book came to be. So I actually received an email, and the email came from this editor over at HarperCollins, and the email mentioned something about, hey, have you ever thought about writing a book? We would love to help you write your first book or help you with your first book. And I'm like, am I being punked? right?
Yeah,
Little
right.
me. And so I followed up with the email, and sure enough, it was someone that had reached out to me from HarperCollins, and they said that they had received my name from someone who thought that I would be really good to write a book.
Wow.
And I said, oh, wow, what an angel to think of me in this regard.
Yeah.
And my life was already pretty hectic and, and things of that nature. But I went on to sign the contract, and it was a 2-year process, a year to write and a year to edit. And it was definitely one of the most challenging projects in my professional career to date.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
chapter is like a dissertation almost.
Yeah. Oh my
hmm
goodness.
Yeah.
Congratulations to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you were still lifing, doing all the other things. Maybe those things
Life
on
was
pause.
lifing. Life was
Yes,
definitely lifing.
and you don't get to like, let me pause this, let me pause that, and then let me get. No, it doesn't work that way. It's like making time out of no time to
Yes.
produce this baby. It's like a whole new business
hmm
too.
hmm
So I know in the book we talk about fearless finances, but there are so many women listening who have fearful finances and they have not figured out their money formula. They don't even know what their emotional attachments are, or where to take new steps to create different outcomes. So I want to
hmm
know from you, um, what do you see as some of those fears that are prohibiting some women, not all? Listen, if you're at work, don't
hmm
raise your hand, don't scream out, but just
Right.
listen closely. But what do you think are some of those prohibitors for women around money and finance? I mean, around finances here, period.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake might be that they are so afraid they're going to make a mistake, right? I think women are programmed to be perfectionists. And I think when it comes to money, that transfers over to how they handle their finances as well. And so I think a lot of women steer away from managing money, dealing with money, because they're so afraid that they're going to make a mistake that could cost them, a significant amount of money. And in fact, that could be true for many people that have invested in the stock market. They've lost money, but that's no reason to actually, you know, throw the whole market away and not get into the market and keep investing. We don't have that problem with men that I've worked with. They keep going, they just kind of like, take it on the chin, but they get up and they keep investing in the stock market because it has proven time and time again that the returns are just unbeatable if you just stick with it. So that's probably one of the biggest fears that I see with women. Another big fear that I see with women is that they have a fear of going broke, right? That they're going to lose it all. And so because of that, they would much rather just hold on to the money that they do have with a tight fist, like I mentioned with the $5, right? Like I'm not
Yeah,
going to spend the $5. But that's often a mindset when
yeah.
people have very little, they're just trying to hold on to it and not see if they can multiply it. And
Mhm.
so that is also a real fear. The other fear I would say would be fear of not telling other people no. So a lot of times women get caught in situations where family members are constantly pulling at their purse strings, asking for help financially, whether it be grown kids, it could be other family members, brothers, cousins that they look to that are looking to them to help finance, whatever that may be. And a lot of times women have a hard time saying no to those, close loved ones because, fear of not being a people
Not being.
pleaser and things of that nature. So that can also get them into really tough jams when it comes to finances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so in this book, you're giving us the keys.
I'm giving you all the things.
Okay. We're getting all the keys. Tell me about your favorite chapter of the book and why it's your favorite.
So I would say my favorite chapter of the book would be, That's a tough one. I enjoy writing Dividend Income Diva, which is chapter 7,
Okay.
because I think that it sets you up for passive income. We work really hard for our money. And so to put something in place where our money starts to work for us is such a rewarding experience. So
Mhm.
being able to go through chapter 7, Dividend Income Diva, to create a passive income strategy from using the stock market is just unbeatable.
Mm.
And then I would say an honorable mention would be chapter 8, actually chapter 9, which is the angel investing chapter. Just learning how to pour back into other Black and brown women entrepreneurs and seeing them birth their entrepreneurial ideas and being a part of that on a different side of the table as an investor is also like a really good chapter for me.
Mm. So
Yeah.
I love this. Okay, so how do you know when you're winning, Cassandra?
Oh, how do you know when you're winning? I
No,
think when
how
you
do
can.
you know?
Oh, how do I know?
Yeah, because I'm listening to you speak and I'm hearing all of the impact and the reach of the work that you do. And I'm just curious to know what success looks like for you, or how do you know that you're winning personally?
Well, the way that I know that I'm winning personally is when I can sleep easy at night, right? Getting closer and closer to my own idea of a soft life.
Yes,
Yes.
life. I
Girl,
love that.
girl. So I know that's a huge thing. It's in vogue. It's a buzzword right now, but it is so true when you can actually have your own soft life. That's kind of where I'm headed right now, to really sort of just wind things down. I've been really working extremely hard being out here and just really just taking some time to just take a breather for myself is something that, would definitely signify that I'm winning.
Mm, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of stories in my Facebook group from great girlfriends who um, are post divorce starting brand new financially.
Hmm.
Not
Hmm.
even having, not having the education on what a budget looks like, or, even where to put money, even when there's spousal support, how to stretch that out. And also the defeat the feelings of defeat of feeling like, geez, I'm just getting started. And I,
Hmm.
and we know that so many marriages end in divorce, or become
Yeah.
divorce stories. I'm curious, do you have any success stories around women who have gotten on the other side of divorce and have started from a different, it's not ground zero, it's just a different, level one, and began to build a softer life?
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, it definitely afflicts a lot of different women. I would say I don't have too many stories, but I do have a lot of stories of just single women in general who have, managed to figure out a way in which to use the stock market. We teach women how to trade options. I've had several women learn how to trade options. A couple of women come to mind that have hit 30,000 or more trading options. Anitra is our most recent one, 30,000 over the course of a couple of days. We've had Phyllis. Phyllis has had like multiple 5-figure days, 15,000 days, $30,000 days, trading options. And so to be able to go into the market and basically print money is just a whole nother mindset shift, if you
Yeah.
will, to know that you have the access to really print on demand if you have this skill set that can't ever be taken from you.
Yeah.
And so that in and of itself is just so powerful for a woman to not have to do any backbreaking work, to not have to, commute, right? Some women are dealing with, unbearable commute sometimes to provide for their family or even themselves. And so just being able to find something that works for them, to be able to really change up their lifestyle by punching a couple buttons and really
Yeah.
understanding how to read charts and things of that nature. It's just so profound to me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, what would you say to the woman who is like, Cassandra, it's easy for you to say, you went to school for accounting, you are a wealth strategist, you have all the keys and you have the resources to do it. I have $5 in my pocket and I don't even know which way to turn. What would you say to her?
I would say start by getting the book and also joining the free community. I think when you're around a lot of people who are doing what it is that you want to do, it can't help but rub off on you, right? They say that's the greatest life hack, is to be around successful people. And that has definitely been one of my success strategies, is getting in the rooms, getting in the right groups with the right people. And that has definitely been, something that has propelled me to be where I am today. So I'd say, for the one that's just starting out, for the sister that has no clue where to start, get into the free Facebook group. And then we have something that is just, I think, cutting edge. We have the Stock Success Circle. We recently restructured it. We call it 2.0 now, and it's only $14.99 to get started. So we want to make it very accessible, very achievable to get to where you want to be financially.
I love that. I mean, you kind of leaped into my closing question, which is about the importance of friendships. And we do know that, the people that are the closest to you should hold the most value. And they do hold the most value, but they should also add the most value. And if they are not working towards a similar quality of life to what you're working toward, the relationships
Mhm.
inevitably they dissipate. They do. They just,
They're there
so
for a season, right? They're there for a season.
yes. So how have your great girlfriends supported? I know Jay, but how have your other great girlfriends supported your journey?
Well, I have to give it up for my A team,
Okay.
Andrea and Alicia. They came on board with me probably 6 years ago and really helped to build the community with me. And these women, I didn't know them from a can of paint. And they reached out to me via email, and they're like, hey, would you like some help? I would love to come work for you. And so they have truly not only become my great girlfriends, but they are just my sisters in life. Um, I remember Alicia coming to me after like a second layoff notice at her company. And she was like, I really got to get serious about my finances because I only have this one W-2 income. And I don't know, what will happen if I lose my job. I have a son, I'm a single parent. And Alicia now has a net worth of over 7 figures, having worked with me over the last 6 years. She knows how to trade. She knows how to trade futures. She knows how to do a lot of different things. She owns 3 properties. 2 are investment properties. Her and Andrea recently went in on a property in the Dominican Republic together. And so I'm just super proud of what she has accomplished in the short time that she has been working with me. Also, Andrea already had like rental property, but she has definitely grown her account balances just by investing in the stock market. She also knows how to trade options. She now teaches with me. And so they have just done amazing things over the last 6 years in working with me. Andrea is married. Alicia is looking for love. And so we always just have good girlfriend time whenever we are together. One is in St. Louis and the other one is now in Savannah, Georgia. And so whenever we get a chance to meet up a few times a year, it's just so hard to leave those great girlfriends, aka my A team.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that so much. So I want to thank you, Cassandra, for being on today, but also for the work that you're doing. It's legacy work, and and it's so important. I think our jobs as women and as community builders are to constantly, bridge gaps wherever they may be, and wherever there is any kind of gap space. It's our role to fill it as we see our service needed. So you have found your space where your service is needed, and you're just pouring it, and you're just pouring in that gap. You're like, not, and I love that, because I think in truth, you're like, I hear this in my head all the time. I'm like, there's certain things that I'm responsible for as a leader, and certain things can't happen on my watch. And which is, as long as I'm alive and well and capable, I'm responsible for moving the needle on those things where I am capable, and likewise where you are capable, Cassandra, and others. And that's what makes a solid, sound, strong community. That's what actually changes legacies and gives people a leg up and creates advantage. Not on my watch. Like, I will not see a woman suffer personally on my watch. I feel responsible for her growth and her next level. And so I hear that same sentiment in the work that you do in your mindset, that is, if you're in proximity to me, I'm responsible for at least pouring, like you said, gals in that gap, and pouring something new and fresh and innovative into you, and disruptive to your bad habits. So we say no sister left behind. No sister left behind.
No sister left behind.
Why do we have to? We don't have to leave. Girl, get over here. Let me take your arm.
Right.
Grab her and let's go. Like, that's the movement. And I love that so much. That is the heartbeat of a strong community builder, a leader, a woman of influence, and a true wealth strategist. Yeah,
definitely.
So I want to thank you, Great Girlfriends. And now, where can they find the book?
So they can find the book on Amazon.com. They can also go to www.thefearlessfinances.com. Thefearlessfinances.com. Yeah.
Okay, so your new book read is at thefearlessfinance.com. Fearless Finances by Cassandra Cummings. Go grab it on Amazon, anywhere books are sold. Pick up the book, and then grab one for your great girlfriend, and make it make that like your group read, where you're like, all right, let's go chapter by chapter. Let's break down these finances. Let's join the club. The Stocks and Stilettos group is free. And let's by the end of the year see something different than we had at the beginning of the year. So that's what I'm cheering for. I love that. Cassandra, where can they keep up with you on social media?
So I'm on Facebook, Stocks and Stilettos. I'm also on Instagram, Stocks and Stilettos. So you can find me there.
Okay, perfect. It was so great to meet you. I'm so grateful for the time. Great Girlfriends, thank you so much for listening today. I know that Cassandra offers you something so disruptive yet empowering to your new level of success and your new attainment or walk towards the soft life, which we're all working towards.
Right, girl.
And then grab that book, and then make sure you leave us a review and tell us what you think about the book, and share it with your great girlfriends.
All right, great girlfriends. Did you enjoy this week's episode of the podcast? If so, would you please give us your amazing review on iTunes? Every single review helps another great girlfriend get plugged into the podcast and the community. Speaking of community, make sure you join our Facebook group at The Great Girlfriends. Follow us on Instagram at The Great Girlfriends and on Twitter at @the_great GFS. I'm Sibylla Muti, and I'm out. Peace.